reason why I like making my own chains is because I find that they are much stronger. Like for this one, I've had this for many years and it has stood the test of time. It hasn't broken off or I haven't lost a pendant, especially as I'm wearing with this one large pendants like this, which is quite heavy, and this always breaks off if you have a store-bought chain, or unless you get the really big chunky ones, of course, but I don't really like big chunky chains. And this one, I wear this with my gold pendants or wire wrap pendants, like large ones. Today, what I'm going to show you is making a chain out of pearls. I've just recently uploaded a video on how to make this ring, so I want to make a nice chunky pendant or accent piece as a pendant in the center, but I still need a chain on the edges, so pretend that this is actually our pendant, so it would look like it's sort of hooked up to there, and I think that would just be beautiful. So first of all, I'm going to show you how I make the chain that will go onto the accent pendant. I'm sure a lot of you already know how to make this, but using really fine 28 gauge or 0.3 millimeter wire. So I'm just going to show you the difference of the thickness of the wire. So that's a 28 gauge, the pearl. This one is a 24 gauge and that one is a 21 gauge. So okay, let's start. Pretend this is a 1 meter. You can have it half a meter if you prefer, but when I've done all of this, I already started with 1 meter of 28 gauge wire or fine silver wire. So first of all, we'll take my round nose pliers and I will just go about 1/4 of an inch, and I'm just going to bend it coming back to the other side. I want this to have a really small hole like that one, just so it'll look very delicate. So I've already gone across on the other side and I'm just gonna push it going up, and it's quite soft, so you can see, and then I can push it with my fingernails. And then I'm gonna take that off. I'm gonna take my flat nose pliers that's on my left side, just grab it, but don't press too hard because you're gonna mark it. And I'm gonna take the bent flat nose pliers and see how there's a little bit sticking out in the corner. So I'm just going to grab that and round it up. So that way I don't have any sharp edges. I'm doing this because just in case I would need to use that on the end later on, and also when I put my beads through, because I just put through all the beads that I needed to do my chain, so that way they don't fall off. Now that I've got all my beads there, I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to take one and again quarter inch and then just bend it. Sure that it's centered, so I'm just going to flick that to the left. I'll take my flat nose pliers on the left, just grab it firmly but gently, and then I'm going to take my wrap and tuck it in so I don't have any sharp edges that can catch on. Take one bead and put it up. Take my round nose pliers on the right and just put it to the tip. See that gap there? I'm only allowing a gap to allow a couple of wraps of the wire. And then I'm going to take this and go wrap up. This is going to be our first one, so a couple of times. I'm just going to see how it's uneven, sort of tilted more to the one side, to the right side, so I'm just going to flick this to the left just to center it, and then take my snip and just snip off just gently. So this is a screwdriver with a flat tip, and what I do with the flat tip, so I can't use my flat nose pliers to grab that hold of because it's a bit, just a little bit, but it's still sticking out. So I use my screwdriver just to push it in, just the tip of it. Just push it in. There you go. So now she's tucked in. So now that's nice and neat. So now we'll take another one and do the same. So again, quarter. And I just twist it on the side, and I'm going to take the first one that I made and just put it through there. I'll put my round nose pliers again through there and just firmly but gently start with my nail, and I'll take my flat nose pliers on the left, just grab hold of the loop, and then so now I'm going to take the pliers, the flat nose pliers that's on the right hand side, and just tuck it in. Then straighten that, doesn't catch, and then put another bead. Same thing again. We're just going to finish this one off. So far we've got 2. And then I'm just going to do another one. So we can have 3. I want to join this short bit to the long bit here that I've already done, that I prepared earlier. So what I'm going to do before I start looping things around again, I'll take one bead off, and I'm going to put the short one through, and I'm going to put my bead back on, and we do a loop. And then we'll take the long one, hook it up, and then we take the left side pliers, just grab it and wrap it up. Straighten that, we'll put our bead through, and then we'll do another loop. And before we close it, we'll put those 3 that we made earlier, feed it through, put in the corner there on the side, and we'll put our round nose pliers again, and we are going to wrap it up. And so now that's almost the same length as my other one, so I'm just gonna continue finishing this off. So I'm actually gonna run short, but anyway, you get the idea. So I'm gonna take a 24 gauge wire, and I have a bolt ring that I'm gonna use to hook the 2 together, but I need to make something that this would hook up to, so I'm just checking. Yep, that would be perfect. So I'm going to take my graduated round nose pliers, and I'm just going to make a loop. So I made one loop, and I'm going to go around again. See, so I've got a couple of loops, and what I'm going to do is going to hook up one side to that. And I'm going to put my bolt ring. I'm I'm going to put the two together through that bolt ring there, but I'll just adjust it a little bit because it's a little bit bent. So take my other round nose pliers and just make some adjustment. So now I'm going to take this one and put it through the loop as well. See that there? So it went through, and then I'll take this one. So it looks like I'm going through 2 loops, and I'll take that. And I'm going to cut it off to where the 2 ends are. So there's 1 end there, and then so I'm going to cut it just opposite, just past it a little bit. There you go. And I'll squash them together. Tuck the ends in just a little bit there. And so now that would be nice and secure. And this part here is soldered, so hopefully that wouldn't break off, the soldering I meant. So on the other end, what I'm going to do to join it up, or just so it can hook up. So this is the right size wire that I have here. And what I'm going to do is make a loop on this one, just only a small one, sort of the same as how we did it before, and hook this up. And I'm going to insert another freshwater pearl. So this is going to hook up with a bolt ring. And so I'm going to make the hole bigger. Find the other. There you go. I'm just going to make a nice big loop. Just check if that's big enough. Yep. So compared to the other ones, which is so much more smaller, because that way it'd be much easier for you to hook it up. Put the back like that. So we've got that size here, so we'll try and make it the same size as that. That's about right. And so now we wrap it up a couple of times. And we'll tuck it in. And so there you go. So that's hook up. Now you can either make a chain all the way through, like these two meeting up, join them up, like I made a bracelet here, so you can close it off like that, so pretend that's a necklace. Or you can watch my next video, which is how I'm going to make a statement piece pendant. So this is a preview of the statement pendant that I'm working on, where I'll be attaching the chain necklace that I just made, and I still have a long way to go. And it will have a faceted garnet on top sitting here, and the main focal stone is an Australian jade or chrysoprase. Also, I'll have some round jade beads with different shapes of freshwater pearls. And as you can see, I still have a long way to go, but I will be posting a video of how I made this statement pendant to go with my pearl chain necklace using a loop and wrap method. And I think it will be a beautiful piece of jewelry.